Vice President Harris began the debate by punting the first question on the economy.
Do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid, and I am actually the only person on this stage who has a plan that is about lifting up the middle class and working people of America.
It went on from there. Despite the economy being the #1 issue facing the country, the sitting vice president generally reverted to talking points about a few of her policy proposals. Even Harris allies today are saying that she needs to talk more about what she will do for Americans if elected. Senator Bernie Sanders will be here in a second to talk about more about the need for her to fill in some of those blanks. On the border, another vulnerable issue for Harris, she also dodged.
Would you have done anything differently from President Biden on this?
So I'm the only person on this stage who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings.
Okay, that wasn't the question. When asked how she would break through the Israel-Hamas war stalemate, Harris said this.
We need a ceasefire deal, and we need the hostages out. And so we will continue to work around the clock on that.
Okay, but again, how?
Seeing the media kind of unload on Kamala Harris, making statements that I have made, as you saw on this, is well documented on this channel. Finally, some honest journalism, right? I want to see more of this. I want to see more journalism. Hey, she wasn't pressed enough on these issues, right? And this will explain to you why Kamala needs a second debate. Now, she's trying to show it as a sign of strength, but I think they realize that they dropped the ball on this debate and it was a missed opportunity. This is why I say I'm laughing at anyone who says that Kamala won the debate, because it seems like you only care she won the debate on like superficiality, on flash. But when you look at the substance, Kamala went on there and said a whole lot of nada. This is why she needed the second debate. So the ball's on Trump's court here. I want to just replay his reaction to them asking him about the second debate, and I want to hear in the comment section or not. Do you agree with Trump's synopsis for the reason for the second debate, or do you have your own thoughts? I'd like to hear it in the comment section. Let's take a look at the video.
Her campaign is saying tonight, Washington Post is reporting that she wants a second debate. What's your answer?
She lost. She wants it because she lost.
Do you have an answer?
Well, I don't know. I have to think about it. But if you won the debate, I sort of think maybe I shouldn't do it. Why should I do another debate? She immediately.
And Trump said that from the very beginning, before all the news started getting on her, because he knows, yo, you didn't answer any questions. I gave more substantive answers than you did. You talk about how I'm bad, you're moving forward, but you're in office right now. How you people are moving forward if you're in office right now? Which Trump said all this in his closing statements. Because I see some people on X, it seemed like they didn't watch the full debate like I did, talking about Trump didn't talk about this enough. He didn't talk about that enough. He did. It's just what's getting all the attention is his interactions with the moderator. And this is why I was so critical of the media. This is why I was so critical of journalism yesterday. It's because of the fact that it became all about the moderators and not about the debate, because the moderators corrupted the debate, contaminated the debate. So now people are saying, yo, Harris only looked more presidential, or she only looked better. But on the substance of the question, she wasn't. She made more false statements than Donald Trump, but wasn't called out on it, which shows explicit bias. But the left want to sit here and pretend this is a win? Huh, okay.
Immediately said we want another debate. That's, you know what happens when you're a prize fighter and you lose? You immediately want a new fight.
You want a rematch.
You want a rematch. The guy that won is sort of happy and thinking about it.
Would you be inclined to say yes, or you
Maybe
don't know?
if it was on a fair network, I would do that. But
I think let Hannity moderate it.
yeah, no, I think
like
that
I
would be
did
fair.
Newsom and Ron DeSantis.
I think it would be fair. You would be fair, actually.
I would be
you
fair.
want to know the truth.
I'd let you both talk. I'd let you go at each other.
I thought they would be fair. They weren't, but I felt very comfortable.
Yeah.
We have the best policy. She has no policy.
That's to me, Trump had the right of it, but people are going to pretend he lost. Okay. You can make any narratives you want. That's one thing. But end of the day, I can control the thought. You only can control what you control. And the only thing I can control is giving out my vision, my views, my thoughts on the matter. And the way Trump presented it, it seems that's the more likely case. Not whatever media the MSNBC is spinning over there on their propaganda news network. right? But let's check out this clip on the media continually slamming on some of the answers that Kamala gave on the economy. Let's take a look.
Let me just ask then, since we're on the topic, Rick, how you feel about tariffs?
You know how I feel about tariffs? It's a bargaining chip. And many of the tariffs with China are still on. Once again, the moderators don't drill down on the two aspects of tariffs, but they do drill down on other areas that make no economic sense whatsoever.
But you don't think the tariffs raise prices? Just as a mathematical economic...
Listen, prices are going up no matter what, Andrew. Whether you do it on the tax side, whether you do it on the tariff side, our policies are silly. We can't be Santa Claus. All those programs aren't policies, they're promises that never get by Congress, and each one of them has a cost we can't afford because we've done this before. When you prepay and you make policies that don't make economic sense, you may think you're getting a benefit. Look at what we learned yesterday. Finally, wages reach 2019, but it doesn't reflect how much they've gone up since 2019. If you're out there and you're a young person, study up. You know, study up. All these superstars that made recommendations in such a timely fashion yesterday, you know, maybe they don't feel the pain of what's going on, but I feel bad that they can't buy houses and insurance. You think these prices of insurance are going to go down, Andrew? You think people in Florida that could barely hold on to their homes could afford 300% increases in their insurance?
There is no question about that. It's a very true statement.
Right, so then why don't we talk about it? Why don't we talk about it?
Well, then there's other issues around climate issues and other things that are affecting things in Florida.
What issues did you learn last night? The ABC people were like a turkey shoot.
And reputation means a lot to me, right? The left is making the legacy media is extremely left-wing, left biased, right? This is why they're the number one source. X is the number one source of truth. 84% of positive coverage, 89% negative coverage. If you've been following this channel, I point out on this diagram a lot. I tell you about a lot of the statistics of modern journalism. You can see that on my video of Inconvenient Truths about modern journalism. But I want to kind of highlight CNN. You know, CNN did a good job leading in with Jake Tapper, but I'm gonna show you what's usually the norm and how easily that the Trump senior advisor is able to debate and fact check a lot of the statements that Kamala has made that showed you how flimsy a lot of her answers was once you get out of the emotions, once you got out of the immediate reactions, exactly how bad she was at answering a lot of these questions. Let's take a look.
Jason, one of the moments that has obviously been replayed quite a bit this morning, as well as last night after the debate, was this moment where Donald Trump talked about people in Springfield. He didn't mention which Springfield, but people in Springfield eating their pets. I want to watch that moment briefly, and we'll talk about it on the other side. Take a look.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening.
And before I continue with the video, I like how the video tried to pretend, oh, yeah, there's more than one Springfield. But we all know who he's talking about. We're talking about the one in Ohio because that's the one that made the most recent news, right? But, you know, it's like another attempt at, like, it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. You see the attempts of people trying to, like, nudge you into a certain thought process, right? Like, try to frame things in a certain way to get you to fall into a certain conclusion, and how they do these little tactics to try to get you to fall in. Once you see it, it's like, it's hard not to notice them attempt to do it. I'm like, yo, stop telling me where to go. Let me see for myself before you tell me what you think about it. Like, relax. Let me see. Like, that's what I'm starting to get now.
In our country, and it's a shame.
Now, the officials in this town have said that this is not true, this is not happening. And even the Wall Street Journal editorial board wrote overnight that Harris won the debate, and they say it was because she came in with a strategy to taunt and goad Mr. Trump into diving down rabbit holes.
And she still was proven wrong. Like, imagine that. She won the debate because she came in with a strategy to taunt and goaded Mr. Trump. Like, that's what constitutes winning a debate now in 2024. How far politics has fallen. how far politics has fallen. That someone wins a debate on Flash. This is what I'm talking about. She didn't win on no Flash. She only won on Flash. No substance. What substance did she? Oh, she didn't talk about anything policy. She won because Donald Trump talked in rabbit holes of personal grief. No, you focused on the rabbit holes of personal grief. You didn't focus on the substantive stuff that Trump said. That's what I focus on because I think that's what actually matters. Policy, the substance, the vision of the candidates, not whether or not they got them to speak on things that are not really conducive to what Americans want. And Trump still did a good job of tying in the immigration issue when he went down these rabbit holes, but they don't focus on that because they don't think you care about that. That's why I opened up with the intro with Jake Tapper unloading on her because she didn't answer anything. People came in, 48% of people were unsure about Kamala Harris. They didn't know enough about Kamala Harris, so they went into the debate looking to know more about Kamala Harris. Did anyone learn anything new about Kamala Harris? No. Trump's a proven product. We know what we get with Trump already. Trump don't need to explain himself. We got 8 years, 10 years of him. He's been in politics for 10 years now at this point. But Kamala Harris, no one knows who this lady is. She came out of nowhere technically 3 months ago. She was Joe Biden's vice president. She just put out her policy positions at the time of me making this video 3 days ago. And this is what the Wall Street Journal's opinion piece said. Trump let Harris off the hook on the debate. Yeah, sure. But she didn't help herself at all. She was in limbo. So everything seems to stay the same. That's why she needs the second debate. But here they are. Oh, no, she's confident. She wants another one. Okay. You don't go for another one if you think you won. I agree with Trump's framing on the event. Let's continue.
They say he always takes the bait. Ms. Harris set the trap, so he spent much of the debate talking about the past, about Joe Biden, or about immigrants eating pets, but not how he'd improve the lives of Americans in the next 4 years. Why was Mr. Trump unable to resist going there?
So a bit of a compound question there, so I want to go and unpack each one of those, Casey. Specific to the pet question, if you go to thefederalist.com, a very well-respected research organization, if you go to the news outlet, thefederalist.com, you will see that months before all of this controversy popped up, there was a 911 call, there was a police report filed on somebody saying that they saw this, which were illegal immigrants from Haiti who are abducting pets. So I'm going to set that aside for a moment. What upset me about this was that the moderators, and it was a 3-on-1, I'm not going to get into them individually. Let's put that aside for a moment. Also, this issue of illegal immigration, that there are as many as 20 million illegals been brought in the country, many of them airlifted to the middle of America, making every community a border community, that was the issue that we should have been talking about. We should have been talking about these airlifts are continuing even after
Right, so why
Kamala
didn't
Harris,
Mr. Trump
after
do
20
that,
million
though?
illegals.
I mean, he could have. He could have. I mean, Republicans are more trusted on immigration. I take your point.
Yeah, but over and over, he did bring it back to immigration, but we got a little bit, I'd say, put into this box with the moderators obsessing. Again, the Federalist says that it's accurate, and they've posted the 911 call and the police report on their website. But what we should have been focusing on here is the fact that these fly-ins of illegal aliens to different countries happening all over. And
that was my criticism, well, about the moderators, is that Trump was like, he talked about that, right? Oh, he was going into rabbit holes. But then Trump attempt to bring it, and then that's when they start coming in and disrupting. Like, that's the problem I had. The moderators were too active in the debate. That's why I said the moderators contaminated the debate. That's what the real story should be about. But here's CNN, here's the media. Jake Tapper, he's smart. That's a smart guy. I can say he's biased, I can say he's do all this, but he's a smart guy. Because he knows, hey, this doesn't help Kamala Harris. So I better unload on her for the fact that she didn't answer any of these questions. Because voters on the substance look at Kamala Harris and you said, maybe those narratives about Kamala Harris being about word salad are true. Because she didn't answer any direct question that mattered to me as a voter. That's the thoughts I had in my head. 3 days out, and the more time it goes on and more people, the hype goes away, the emotions goes away, and it's just straight logic, you start finding the holes. It's just I got there faster. That's all I'm trying to say. Let's continue.
It's not just at the border, it's the fly-ins. And after 20 million illegals, Kamala Harris didn't say last night, and this is the important thing, 2/3 of the country think we're going the wrong direction. Kamala Harris didn't say what she would do to stop that, didn't commit to stopping the fly-ins, didn't commit to what we would do about the 21 million illegals already here. Here's why it matters. When they're here, Kamala Harris has said in the past she wants blanket amnesty for everyone. That'll bankrupt entitlements. It'll bankrupt health care with everyone getting free health care. And, of course, we see with the housing crisis, where are you going to put another 20 million people? That's what Americans care about. It's not enough for Kamala Harris to come in and give the platitudes. She has to say where she's going a different direction. She simply failed to do so last night. If you're an undecided voter or someone who's on the fence, you had to see a willingness to a change in direction. Kamala Harris didn't do it. President Trump over and over said how he would stop that crisis and turned it around.
Jason, quickly before I let you go, the other issue that I was left a little bit unclear on was whether or not President Trump would veto a national abortion ban in the event one landed on his desk as president. Can you say now, would he or wouldn't he veto such a ban?
Well, I mean, he made it very clear last night. He said, number one, that's not going to come forward. But number two, that's not something that he's in support of. He's very clearly said that's going to be sent to the states. He's very adamant that any laws at states need to have the exceptions very strongly, rape, incest, life of the mother. And he also pointed out that how a number of states, including Minnesota, allow late-term abortion up to the moment of birth, abortions in the 9th month. Now, here's the thing where I am going to, Casey, hold on. I do have to take issues with the moderators on this point. There was a false fact check against President Trump with regard to Minnesota,
which I think we've been over ad nauseum. But that kind of highlights the problem with the moderators. The moderators here, you heard it. Moderators this, moderators that. Trump didn't get a yes or no question about abortion, but Kamala didn't answer anything about late-term abortions and if she can define a limit, or does she even believe in a limit? She doesn't want to specify that, but abortion bans are so extreme, but you can't define when's the cutoff date for abortions. You see what I'm saying? And Trump already answered the question. He said, there's no point answering it because there's no way that from a federal level we should be even legislating on this. But they just want the yes or no. Trump did not answer. They want to be able to say this. This is what the media is looking for. Trump does not give a yes or no answer, but explains why he don't feel the need to answer the question. Media, Trump failed to answer whether or not he will veto an abortion ban. That's all they're going to report about. They're not going to give him no quote. They're not going to give him no benefit of the doubt. And this is some of the games that the media has been accused of doing, and many people highlight of them doing. And this is why people are so surprised that they're criticizing Kamala Harris, at least CNN. But I digress.
If you go and look, there have been 8 instances since 2019 where a baby was born, and whether it's because of a botched abortion or because there's some other reason after there maybe the attempt to revive or resuscitate the baby after they were born happened. 8 instances where that baby then died. So there have been cases where after the baby was born that unfortunately there are 8 lives that perished. Ralph Northam, and again, anyone can Google this, the former governor of Virginia, said in the case of an abortion gone wrong, that baby would be born.
The media, this is why I said, I think the media knows that most people, especially low information voters, they won't do their own research to verify any of the claims made by Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. They're just going to believe whatever the media says, and the media abuse it. You saw it the first few days. I think the first day after the debate, nothing but praise about Kamala, nothing but hype about Kamala. Oh my gosh, she did so great. She cooked them, all this stuff. Second day, okay, now we're going to criticize her because now the high information voters are going to start paying attention and they're going to start really going at it online. So let's get ahead of this. I feel like it's a tactical move by the media to do this on Kamala Harris. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.